Okay, so we're just gonna do it right under here. So
I know.
can everybody see me okay?
No. If you
Okay.
put your face to the window, it'll put the light on your face. If you face the window.
You're dark.
There.
If I'm like that,
The light,
so if
yeah.
I'm like this,
Perfect.
is that what y'all saying?
Yes, right there.
Yeah, the problem is,
Oh, you got
Yeah, we can see you now.
okay, all right, I'll do it. I'll do it. Let me just get set up. Hang on, we just gotta rearrange here. Hang on.
The camera's not working.
Well,
I have
well
an
Barbara, we could see your presentation as you share your screen.
okay.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it's good. I'm just gonna sit right here. Hang on, let me grab my stuff here. A little bit of movement, that's all. No big deal, right? Hang on, give me 1 sec. All right, minor technical difficulties, huh? Okay, but the Wi-Fi router's right there, okay.
Oh yeah. Forever and a day.
Okay, so how are we now? We're all good?
Yeah.
Okay, can everybody see me all right?
You're half dark and half light.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so,
I guess I can,
Yep.
that better?
yes.
Whatever. Okay. All right, we'll just, just gotta do what you can do, and I'm sitting on my cord. All right, here we go. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. And a little bit of dust on my screen here. All right, we're recording. And I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody. Welcome everybody to the class. And hang on 1 second here, it's giving me a little bit of trouble. I don't know why it's not letting me minimize. Okay, hang on. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, let me just rearrange here. We just, a little bit of problems and a little bit of problems, right? Okay, so welcome everybody to the class. And the class, obviously the title of the class is, it's an essential oil world. And so basically what I wanted to talk about was just, the essential oils around the world, right? Where they come from, why they're harvested in the manner that they are, and the good that that doTERRA is doing for these countries that they're gathering the essential oils for, right? So it's not just about just getting an essential oil and just selling it or whatever. It looks like we just lost it again. Are we still together? Okay. I thought I just lost everybody again. Let me double check and make sure everybody's still here. Okay, I still got everybody. Okay. I don't know why I thought we just lost everybody again. All right. Little disorganized at this start, and I'm really sorry, but okay. Let's go ahead and just keep going with it, right? All right, so co-impact farming. Okay, what is co-impact farming? So to ensure that small-scale farmers and harvesters in disadvantaged areas are treated ethically, doTERRA has introduced an initiative called Co-Impact Sourcing. And co-impact sourcing creates shared value for all stakeholders in the supply chain by being at the source and intentionally implementing environmental stewardship and/or social impact initiatives. In other words, it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for us because we get these beautiful oils, and it's a win to the people of the lands where we get the oils from, all right? Such as in this particular picture, we've got lemongrass harvested in India. It's a co-impact sourcing, and it's actually a very beautiful story. All right, now, doTERRA, as we all know, they're committed to pursuing what's pure. We know that the oils that we get are the purest on the earth, but doTERRA places great value on the expert knowledge of farmers and the artisan distillers in the different parts of the world. Okay, is everybody having a hard time seeing my pictures? I just was told that you cannot see my pictures.
Oh, okay, your screen, okay, your screen is not being shared.
Okay, so how long has it not been being shared?
I thought you were still doing the intro, Mom, because you didn't share your screen yet. So we just been looking at you.
Okay, so you heard my voice, but you couldn't see my.
We can see you, but not your screen.
All right, hang on 1 second then. Let me see what I can do here. All right, how's that?
Yeah, we can see your screen now.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you. Patricia, thank you. You are the one that that alerted me. So if anybody's having a problem, because we're obviously having some connection issues right at the moment, if anybody's having any problems at all hearing or seeing me, send me a text, because I'll be able to get it. And I got my phone right here, so I'm watching my phone. So, all right. Okay, so we're back on track here. Let me go ahead and advance. So we were talking about the co-impact sourcing. And so when doTERRA looks for sourcing partnerships, doTERRA deliberately chooses locations where the highest essential oil of the highest quality can actually be harvested, right? But not just for that fact. It's also to benefit and to improve the lives of those people where they are harvesting the oils, okay? So it's not just, that doTERRA is just worried about themselves, but it's a co-impact. And that's what we want to talk just a little bit about. It's a beautiful partnership when you really think about it, co-impact. So there's over 100 essential oils sourced from over 40 different nations, okay? So there's many nations that doTERRA is in partnership with. And here are some of just the few. As you can see, of course, our own country, but then so many countries around the globe, okay? And they're not just looking for a country where these particular plants grow, but where these plants grow their best, okay? Where the oil that we can get is the purest and just the very most beneficial for us, okay? So co-impact sourcing, all right? I think it's beautiful because we're not only having our lives enriched, but we're also enriching the lives of others. And that's what is so important about what we do. So what is the co-impact sourcing? Once again, co-impact sourcing seeks to develop long-term, mutually beneficial supplier partnerships, while also creating sustainable jobs and providing reliable income in underdeveloped areas of the world. So we can actually feel good about what we're doing because we know that what we're giving back to the world, we're giving back to the land, we're giving back to the people who are providing us with these beautiful oils that we have. All right. So there's going to be, several oils. There's many, but there's only a few that I chose to just talk about. And the first one, if anybody could guess, is going to be ylang ylang. So the Coimpact story of ylang ylang. Of course, we know that ylang ylang, many of us know because I say it all the time, it comes from Madagascar. And it's used for an exquisite fragrance. It is anybody who's ever smelled ylang ylang know that it has a fragrance that it's not like anything you've ever smelled before. It's got a beautiful smell. It's got a long history as a component for perfume, right? But now through doTERRA's co-impact sourcing efforts, the reality and the quality of life have been improved, not only by us who are able to use it, but importantly, very importantly, for the harvesters, for the farmers that live there in Madagascar, okay? So when we get this bottle of ylang ylang, or when we get a bottle of any oil, what I want us all to do is to consider the source. Consider where it's coming from. Consider where it's being harvested. Consider those that took their time. Of course, they're getting paid very well by doTERRA, but consider the time and the effort that doTERRA has put into getting this oil into the bottle. All right. So not only is it beneficial for us, but it's also very beneficial for the people that are getting this oil in the bottle. What does it do for us? Very good for balancing hormones. A lot of women have hormonal issues, right? Very good for your skin and for your hair. And it also uplifts the mood, right? It's got a very calming effect at the same time of uplifting. So, and there's some practical uses for this, this beautiful oil. So anyway, just a few little thoughts there about ylang ylang. We'll talk a little bit about sandalwood. Sandalwood's an oil that I really don't look into very much. I don't find the benefit or the uses of sandalwood in my life. But I went and I just kind of did a little bit of looking here. Now, if anybody can even pronounce this, Kalahikiola. Kalahikiola. That's this beautiful place here in Hawaii that's called Kalaikiloa. I probably didn't even say it properly. But that's where sandalwood is harvested. That's where it comes from. All right. Now, the land can only be used, and this is one of the reasons why sandalwood is so very expensive, because the land can only be used for sustainable harvest of forest timber, which must be carefully monitored. In other words, it's not just readily available all the time, right? It has to be carefully monitored so it's not over harvested, so that the land isn't, it's not robbed of all of the nutrients. Now, I highlighted some of the points that I wanted to make. Living sandalwood trees can be harvested in limited quantities, and dead trees can be removed freely. Now, another thing too is that sandalwood, there's actually several species, and I wanted to talk a little bit about, there's two different species that I wanted to talk about. One that comes from Hawaii, the other that comes from India. So this is a native KMR forest. KMR is, it says it right here. It's the, which I can't even say it. Kilakelakua Mountain Reserve. That's KMR. So that's what this is. Absolutely beautiful. But this is the forest that this beautiful oil comes from. Okay, so we see it when it's all beautifully packaged and we see the after product, but oftentimes we don't see and we don't understand the impact that doTERRA has on these communities, on these countries, on these peoples. This is the sandalwood that comes from India. Okay, so same oil, two different locations. Why does doTERRA do it the way that they do? Because they want the purest, most potent, they want the oil that can affect us in the best ways possible. So here are some of the uses of sandalwood. Of course, almost all of the oils seem to be good for, for our skin. Very good for blemishes. It's a mood enhancer. It enhances the mood. Okay. It also is very good for anxiousness, for tension. It promotes emotional well-being. All right. Now, of course, I always have to talk about Brazil because this is another, just one of my loves is Brazil. And so the Amazon. And so this co-impact sourcing story is beautiful. So the Brazilian rainforest, which we know is huge. As a matter of fact, they call this rainforest, they actually call it the lungs of the planet, because more oxygen is being pumped into the planet from this particular place than anywhere else. Not only that, is this particular place uses more CO2, because we understand that the trees use CO2 and then they pump out oxygen. Well, as a part of all of that beauty, we find a beautiful tree called the Copaiba tree. And actually it's called the, how do you say that? Copaifera tree. It can live up to 400 years old and grow to more than 100 feet. It's an absolutely beautiful tree, and I usually put a picture of it. I didn't in this particular slideshow, but I wanted to, just to show when I was kind of doing this little, this little study, I was like, what on earth is this? It's called the meeting of the waters. And what that is when two large, which these are very large, it's the Amazon, and then another one, I think I might have it at the next slide. They actually meet, but the rivers are flowing so fast that the water actually doesn't even mix until miles down the, down the pathway, just because they're traveling so fast. It was really interesting, just that idea of the meeting of the waters. Now, Copaiba, what is it good for? On our side of the bottle, we get all of these awesome benefits, right? Supports the health of the cardiovascular system, the immune system, the digestive system, the respiratory system, right? We understand that it's a powerful antioxidant. It helps calm, it helps soothe, it helps support the nervous system, promotes clear and smooth skin, and reduces the appearance of blemishes, like a lot of the oils. That's what we see on our side of the bottle. But what's on the other side of the bottle is a beautiful co-impact story, okay? Now here's another one, Kenya Rising, another beautiful co-impact sourcing. There's actually many oils that are produced, that are harvested, that are grown in this region of Kenya. Rosemary, geranium, thyme, eucalyptus. And then of course, we've got the spice triangle that's located right here, where clove, cinnamon, black pepper. Back in the day, we would be considered like spice traders, right? We would be the spice traders of the day, right? These are spices that were traded at one time. So the co-impact sourcing in Kenya will create over 5,000 rural farming jobs by 2020, which has been here and passed. 5,000 jobs that were created just in this one state, or I'm sorry, just in this one country called Kenya. They're in Africa. But again, the primary essential oils of focus for Kenya are ginger, geranium, eucalyptus, rosemary, oregano, and thyme. So every time you open up a bottle, you can think about the beautiful co-impact story that's there inside that bottle. We don't just get a bottle of rosemary and we open it up and it's like, okay, that's great, and it works wonderful for us. What about all that was done for the people of that land? That's what's really beautiful, right? It's beneficial to us. We see all of these benefits that it is. Hang on, there's people coming into the. I have to just admit everybody and then. Let's go ahead and mute everybody. Okay. All right. So again, like I was saying about the rosemary, whenever you go ahead and use that bottle of rosemary, when you're using it to help with your digestion, when you're using it as a pick-me-up, maybe in the middle of the day, when you use it to cook, think about what was on the other side of that bottle. Okay. And that's the beautiful co-impact sourcing that we're talking about, okay? Thyme. And look at all of these benefits of thyme. It's a natural insect repellent. That's pretty awesome, right? Purifying effects and cleansing effects for the skin, right? Very, very good as to put in your diffuser for alertness, very similar to that of rosemary. But there's a story that's behind this bottle of thyme, right? There's a story that's behind it. It's more than just good for constipation and good for cough and good for sore throat and, you know, good as an antiseptic or an antibiotic. There's a story behind that, and that's the co-impact sourcing story. All right, here we got eucalyptus. Again, very, very good for any type of upper respiratory, coughing, very good for putting in the shower. I used to take, now I have other oils in my shower, but I used to use eucalyptus. I'd just put a drop or two in the corner of the shower and it gives you a beautiful smell and opens you up. It's very, very good for any kind of an airway issue. So here again, here's, you know, some of the, this is just some of what it's good for. Okay, it's good for much more than this, but these are some of the top uses of eucalyptus. And then there's beautiful oregano. Okay, that we know that oregano is just a powerhouse for immune support. There's a story behind oregano, right? It's not just good for fungus. It's not just good for gingivitis. It's not just an antibiotic. It's not just good for any kind of a yeast infection. There's also a story on the other side of that bottle. Again, that co-impacts. Clove. Clove is it's got the highest level of antioxidants anywhere in the world. And clove is found right off the coast of Africa in the beautiful country of Madagascar, same place that ylang ylang is harvested from. And again, it's not just a bottle of oil that's good for all these things. There's co-impact, right? There are people that are being benefited on the other side of that bottle, okay? Cinnamon bark, another one of those beautiful oils that is very, very good. Diabetes. Cinnamon has got just such a beautiful aroma as well. Look at all of these uses for this one bottle of oil. Diabetes, diverticulitis, fungal infections, good for the immune system, infection, mold, muscle strain, viral infections. It's so good for so many things for us, but then it's also so very good for those that we get it from, right? Co-impact sourcing. What I want is I want everybody to understand this idea of co-impact, right? Black pepper. Who uses black pepper? Who uses the oil black pepper? And if you do, I would like to hear a little bit about what you use it for. These are just some of the things that black pepper is good for. And then we have geranium. Now, you either love or you hate geranium. My daughter doesn't like the smell of geranium, and I love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful smell. It's good for your skin. It's good for your emotions. It repels insects. And it's actually a natural deodorant as well. So, but look at all of what it's good for even internally, right? For your gallbladder, for your pancreas, for your kidney, urinary support, very good for hormones, right? A lot of good things that geranium does. A good old ginger. This is another one. You either love it or you hate it. This is one that I don't particularly care for. Although I have used it and I will use it, but it was certainly not the first one on my list of oils that I wanted to get. But it's very, very good for any kind of digestive issue. So again, understanding that what we get, there's much more to the story of that bottle of oil. And of course, I had to speak just a little bit about frankincense, because I believe frankincense has got one of the most beautiful co-impact sourcing stories ever. So frankincense is grown in these regions, are the best regions, and these are the regions where we get it from. There's many different types of boswellia, which is frankincense. But I wanted to just kind of take a little bit of time to just read just a little bit Why Oman? Why Somaliland? And why Ethiopia? Okay. There's 4 different Boswellia species of frankincense, and different frankincense trees thrive in different environments and soil types. For example, the Boswellia carteri trees grow best in sandy soils, whereas Boswellia furriana trees go best in dry, rocky terrain. Okay. Now, the furriana trees, they produce the largest tier resin, right? But what doTERRA does is they source from multiple locations to ensure that we're harvesting the resin from the place that each Boswellia tree grows best, right? It's not enough to just take a frankincense tree and just put it in, like if you were to take a frankincense tree and grew it in the soils here in Florida, you might not get the same thing that you get if you're harvesting these trees and you're growing these trees in Somaliland, right? Now, normally when the resin is harvested, sold to the shopkeepers who sell it to the middlemen and the consolidators, and eventually it arrives at the port for export, right? Unfortunately, what happens with that system is it's taking advantage of the harvesters who end up being paid the lowest wage for some of the hardest work. So instead, what doTERRA does, the wage goes directly to the people who harvest and sort the frankincense resins, as this woman that you see here do, okay? We have even contributed significantly to the construction of warehouses built throughout the mountains where these resins are collected, sorted, and again, primarily by women, which provides important value-add employment opportunities to these very remote areas, okay? So these people are being impacted by doTERRA the same way that we're being impacted by doTERRA. So what this woman is doing is she's separating, because you separate the lighter resin from the darker resin, and that's what she's doing. And frankincense, of course, we know the king of the oils. It's an oil that I don't go a day without using. This oil should be being used internally. The benefits of this oil are just tremendous, the benefits of this oil. And so I make sure that this is a part of what I consume every single day inside of my body. And when you look at this list, understand that this is only a partial list, of what this oil does for us. All right, Nepal, I believe this might be my last one. Nepal is a beautiful story. Wintergreen, as well as spikenard, is harvested in the mountains of Nepal. Wintergreen grows between 1,500 and 2,700 meters in altitude. Could you imagine being the one that's actually growing and harvesting? It's found in the Himalaya and then Nepal and China. And spikenard requires an elevation between 3,600 and 4,500 meters in open rocky places. Could you imagine harvesting and growing spikenard? I mean, it's got to be actually a dangerous profession. So here's wintergreen being distilled. Just imagine when you open up your bottle of wintergreen that this is where it originated. So just think about it. When you open up your bottle of oil, just think about the other side of the bottle, right? Where it originated from. And to me, that's a beautiful story, isn't it? So we know that wintergreen, not only does it smell wonderful, not only is it once again good for the skin, but look at what it does for your muscles, for your joints. It does some wonderful, wonderful things. Here's some of the primary uses: acne, bladder infection, arthritis, bone spurs, bone pain, cartilage injury. Look at all of the wonderful uses of wintergreen. Gallstones, kidney stones, rotator cuff injuries. Oh, I wasn't done. Bulgaria, of course, we got to end with Bulgaria, right? Bulgaria, beautiful. I love even just the name of Bulgaria. And if you listen to the way people talk from Bulgaria, they have a beautiful, beautiful accent. So this is where they are, right there, along the Black Sea, Macedonia to their east, and you've got, to the west, and you've got Turkey to the south. Russia, I believe, is to the north. Is that, no, that's Romania. I'm sorry. Romania to the north. So annually, the SDR produces on site more than 50,000 kilograms of lavender and 1,000 kilograms of melissa. Two beautiful, beautiful oils coming from Bulgaria. Okay, lavender. Everybody knows about lavender, right? That's the one oil that you just don't have to say a whole lot about because everybody knows about it, right? We all know it as the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. All things calming, right? Allergies, blisters, diaper rash, insomnia, postpartum depression, menopause, mastitis, tics, vertigo, rashes, teeth grinding. Lavender is just one oil that I think probably everybody has in their oil box. Melissa, maybe not so. Why is that? Well, Melissa's a little more expensive. Smells wonderful though. And it's the aromatic description of Melissa is actually citrus. So something to consider. Beautiful, beautiful smelling. Primary benefits: supports a healthy immune system, calms tension and nerves, and is good for stomach discomfort. And here are some recipes. If you have the veggie caps, you can make your own veggie caps for internal use, or you could just drop a drop or two in your water and drink it like that. The veggie cap is better. One, because if it's a hot oil, it doesn't burn your lips, and some of the oil doesn't cling to the side of the glass like it might if you're just dropping it in your glass of water. You're going to get it all in that veggie cap. Okay, it's just very easy to take it like that. So co-impact sourcing is an unbelievably beautiful profession that these farmers, they go into a partnership with doTERRA. They are impacted, we are impacted, they get paid what they deserve, and we get beautiful oils to use. So, and I guess I thought I was done, but let's just go into vetiver because we just always got to talk about vetiver, don't we? Vetiver is actually very interesting because it's actually the root. It's not what you see above the ground. So they pull that and they shake off all of the dirt, and it's the root that's actually distilled. But if you have insomnia, this is an oil that you could definitely try because I've heard some wonderful things about vetiver for ADHD. Vetiver, again, very, very good. If you've got any kind of concentration issues, it's a very, very earthy smelling oil. Here we go, liquid sleep, lavender, vetiver, frankincense, ylang ylang, and wild orange. These are some children that are on the harvested vetiver, and this is where vetiver comes from, the land of Haiti. As we all know it, it's probably one of the poorest countries in the whole world. And the things that doTERRA has done in Haiti are just absolutely wonderful. They've done some really, really good things in Haiti. Now, as of September 2018, doTERRA's co-impact sourcing initiatives in Haiti, more than 11,000 jobs have been supported. That is a lot of jobs, impacting at least 48,000 lives. doTERRA's involvement with Haitian vetiver farmers helped from the beginning of co-impact sourcing starting in 2014. So they've been there for a little bit of time, okay? And this is actually how when they pull what it is, it's kind of like tall grass, and they pull the grass out in great big clumps, and then they clean the vetiver roots, getting all the dirt, and the roots is actually what is, which are actually distilled. And New Zealand, Douglas fir. I don't know how I got so many, not to be the last one. Hang on, my brother's trying to get in. Let me let my brother in. Okay. It's okay. All right. Billy, if you're not muted, Billy, if you could go ahead and mute yourself. All right, so Douglas fir. I think this is probably going to be the last one that we talk about. Douglas fir trees are one of the tallest trees in the world and can live for over 1,000 years. That's a long time. Imagine living for 1,000 years. The wilding, now I thought this was interesting. Wilding Douglas fir is a New Zealand term to describe trees that have grown as a result of the propagation of seeds that have spread across the landscape of New Zealand on their own, becoming invasive. So an invasive species is something that people usually want to get rid of, right? Like the wintergreen in Nepal. That was like a weed to them. But for us, it's a beautiful, beautiful essential oil. So we see through the what they look at as an invasive species, we see the benefit, right? And so then what doTERRA does is they go in there and it's a co-impact sourcing cooperation, which is absolutely beautiful. Now look at this beautiful, beautiful terrain. So doTERRA is a wonderful company that does wonderful things. We get the beautiful oils, and others throughout the world are impacted all around the world. So here is an around the world diffuser blend. Okay, you got the Mai Wawi in Indonesian palms, you got the summer in the Alps and brunch in Provence, you got Tahiti, California coast, Rocky Mountains, beautiful, beautiful diffuser blends from around the world. So we offer essential oils derived from the most fertile sources in the world. doTERRA doesn't just harvest and plant wherever a plant can grow, but it's where they grow best, all right? Top 10 oils and the most common uses. I think everybody has seen this before. This is something that I use in my classes often, just giving an idea. This is our side of the bottle, right? This is what we see. We see what it does for us. But there's more to it than just this, but this is enough. Here are some wonderful kits that we can get into our homes to get these beautiful oils to work in our lives, in our homes, just working hard for us. We've got a promotion going on this month. As we all know, it's actually not just this month. I think it'll probably be going on through next month as well. Anytime you enroll with doTERRA with 100 PV or more, which is any one of these kits here, you get a free bottle of Citrus Bliss. And these are some of the wonderful benefits that it does for us. And here is some diffuser blends for the Citrus Bliss. And I wanted to end it just on that. So I know that that the class was a little different, but here we are. And thank you everybody for being so patient with all the technical difficulties that I was having. Started out poolside, ended up underneath, but it's all good. We're all good. Anyway, are there any questions or any comments at all? Let me go ahead. Francis, I know you're going to tell me that I need to go ahead and mute, or not mute, I'm sorry, but come on now. I don't know why this class is just giving me so many problems. All right, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to turn off the recording, but for some reason, anyway, let's just go. I'll go ahead and turn off the recording. Sharon, did you want to take it away for just a minute while I go ahead and try to turn off this recorder?
Yes, I will. Okay, all right, we have a super cute little giveaway for today. It's gonna come in it's gonna come in a bag. It's a 3-pack. And what it is a bottle cap converter. One of them is a pump. It looks like this. Okay, and then the next one is a spray. Looks like this. And then the